Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Listen, it feels so good to say that once again, and joining me for the very first time, thank you so much for being here with me. My name is Donella and this is my world of beauty here on YouTube. Now for those of you who've been a long time subscriber and you're wondering, girl, where the hell have you been? What the hell? Listen, let me tell y'all, long story short, right? My ring lights, these lights that you guys see touching me right now, every single one of them went bad around the same time. I kid you not. I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm thankful that I got that sorted. I now have new lights and they all look beautiful. Like, you could see me, right? You could see me. You could see me, and I'm glad to be back here on YouTube. So without further ado, let's just jump into this week's video. You guys know I have been a long time lover of the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Setting Powder. I have about 3 different shades that I normally incorporate into my makeup routine. This is shade Honey and a regular, and recently I started using Nutmeg. I think Nutmeg is an absolutely perfect shade when it comes to my daytime looks, and I use Banana just if I want to add just a little bit of brightness underneath my eyes. So those are the 3 shades from the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Setting Powder line that I normally now recently, well, not so recent, but since the launch of Patrick Starr's One Size Beauty, that I have been eyeing this what is it called, the ultimate blurring setting powder. This one is in the shade Sweet Honey. A lot of makeup gurus and beauty lovers alike claim that this powder is so good. It's so good, blah blah blah, la la la, and I'm just like, listen, I'm not listening. You guys know I love my Fenty. I'm not listening to any of that. But I have been searching for a secondary powder that is just as good as my Fenty powder, and once I saw the reviews on the one size ultimate blurring setting powder from Patrick Starr, it piqued my interest, and I was like, listen, I'm seeing a lot of great reviews on this powder and I definitely want to try it out. So I purchased it, and I purchased it in the shade Sweet Honey. Now by the time I purchased this, I believe there were a few other colors that were launched. I probably mention it later on in this video. If you guys are interested in seeing whether I like this powder or not, by the way, I'm wearing it right now. Can you tell which side I'm wearing Fenty? On the right side is one size, on the left side. If you guys are interested in seeing my thoughts on these 2 powders and whether one size hit Fenty Beauty's, then please stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, I've already went in and applied my moisturizers, oils, etc. So next thing I'm going to do is go in with my primer, and I'm going to go in with my Milk Makeup Hydrating Primer. This one is a travel size, so I'm just going to take about 2 pumps of that and just go in and distribute it evenly all over my face, making sure to pay attention to the areas where I know I have excessive sweating. Because I'm going to be testing out these 2 babies right here, I want to go in with a foundation that has somewhat of a dewy type of finish, because I want to make sure I get the most use out of these 2 products according to what they're supposed to do. And I'm going to get into that real quick, but before we do that, I want to apply my foundation. So let me see which foundation I want to use. I think I'm not going to choose a Fenty. I feel like I'm always using Fenty or Maybelline. So I have this one here from Bare Minerals. This one is a Bare Minerals Bare Pro Performance Real Liquid Foundation, and this one is in the shade Cinnamon, number 25. And I also have this one from Chantecaille. This one is the Future Skin Oil Free Gel Foundation. This actually does have somewhat of a dewy type of finish, and I use the shade Carab, which is the same shade I use in Black Opal. I'm thinking of using this one from Chantecaille because I feel like this one might have a slightly matte finish, and I want something that has a dewy finish. So let's go in with the Chantecaille. So before I put my concealer on, because I'm not really sure which concealer I want to use, and just in case I choose a quick drying concealer because I don't know which one I want to use yet, let me just read what the claims are for both of these powders. Okay, so we're going to go in with the One Size ultimate setting powder, ultimate blurring setting powder, sorry. And according to its claims, this is a finely milled blurring powder for all day wear, 24-hour shine control, and a soft matte finish. And it's available in 7 shades, and it's for all skin types. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It says according to this that, by the way, according to the, okay, so that's pretty much it in terms of the description for this one. And everybody should be familiar with the one from Fenty, because baby, that has been my OG since it came out. So according to what these claims are on Fenty Beauty's website, it says a super fine weightless loose setting powder. So they're both setting powders curated in 8 sheer shades to perfect and extend makeup wear for that filtered photo ready finish unlock. So it also says, when looking good in the name of the game, your makeup better be able to keep up. Enter Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. This super fine, insanely silky loose powder sets and extends makeup wear, work all day to blur. Oh, so they both say that they're supposed to blur the look of pores, fine lines, and imperfections for a hyper smooth filter that didn't come to play, so bring on the paparazzi. Okay, so they're basically both supposed to blur out whatever they need to blur out. So I'm actually going to do a half and half test. I'm going to use the one size on one side of my face, and then the Fenty Pro Filter Setting Powder on the other side of my face. So for this, I'm not going to go into any of the brand's concealer. I'm going to use a concealer that is not associated with any of these brands. Let's go in with this one from e.l.f. This is the Hydrating Camo Concealer. This one is in the shade Deep Chestnut. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for things that have hydration or moisture, whatever you want to call it, because I want to make sure that I test these two babies according to their claims. So I'm going to go in and just add a bit of that e.l.f. concealer in the areas where I normally apply. Then I'm just going to come down just a little bit further than I normally do, because I want to really put these powders to the test. I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out real quick. Okay, so I have 2 powder puff. This black one already has the Fenty powder on it because I use this all the time. So I'm going to go in with a clean one for the one size. I'm going to use one size on this side and Fenty powder, the Fenty Pro Filter Setting Powder on the left, and the one size on the right. So I zoomed in slightly. So I'm going to go in with the Fenty powder first, just because that's the powder that I always use. And I'm going to go in with the shade Honey, just because this shade, if I haven't remembered, this one is Sweet Honey. So I figured, why not use just 2 honey from the Fenty and honey from one size. I'm going to go in with Honey and just set the left side of my face. I'm going to go in with a good amount, because you want to make sure that we get the best use out of both powders. Make sure we're going real heavy with that. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to go right here. Right here. Take this a little bit and go right here. Making sure we cut this in half for real. And just because I really want to test both powders to see how they both hold up with my oily skin, I'm also going to do just a bit of the Fenty powder just below the area where I normally apply my contour, right there. Okay, so Fenty is set. Make sure we add enough. Make sure we don't go over on the right. We stay over here on the left. Oh, and I actually need to put some right here too. I need to bust this into as well. Put some right here. Just make sure we stay over here. The nose pack gonna be a little difficult, so I probably might just put the one size on the area that the bit of concealer that I applied on my nose bridge. Okay, so we're going to go in with the clean triangular powder puff now, and this will be my first time opening the one size, so it still has the baby, how do you open this? Oh, Oh, she fancy. Look at that. Fancy. It looks like it has a seal. It does. So I'm going to be lifting the seal up. Whoa. Tell you one thing for sure, Patrick sure made this packaging is nice. I like things like this. So I'm going to just maybe turn it over and knock it just to make sure I get some to come over there. Did anything come up? No? Okay, it looks so. Okay, so this is the shade of Sweet Honey in one side. So it almost look very, very close to Honey on the Fenty. But if I had to guess, I would say this looks more on the shade of Banana. To me, it looks a little bit more lighter. It's like a lighter shade of yellow. So it looks more like Banana, the Banana shade in Fenty to me. Okay, so I want to make sure that I get enough of the Sweet Honey, just like I did with the Fenty. So I'm just going to make sure I knock that out, make sure I get enough. I'm going to saturate the powder puff with it now. And we are going to pat that on. Whoa. Okay, hold on there. Let me get this back. Wait, what? What am I seeing here? Hold on. Like, this just took me aback just now. And you can actually see, wow. I'm not gonna like, let me just make sure I take the black powder. I want to make sure I press everything in. Let me just make sure I press everything in so it doesn't look like I'm cheating or anything. Make sure I press everything in. Okay, so this is the Fenty side. Okay, and according to it, it's supposed to now according to its claims, it's supposed to blur fine lines and pores. Oh, sorry, oh my gosh, I'm using the wrong powder puff. Gosh, felt like I cheated there for a second. It's supposed to blur fine lines, pores, etc. And then this is the side with Patrick Starr's one size. What? Oh yeah. Wait, give me a second here. I'm going to go in and do the same thing that I did. I'm going to add a little bit here, making sure that I don't cross the line. I'm gonna stay right here, and you're gonna go around here by the chin, chin. And let me make sure I just dump some more over. We're going to get some and add some right across here. Oh, I did not do that really good just now, but yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay, so guys, this is one side and this is Fenty Beauty side. I have to say, right, I never thought I would actually get a powder that could compete with Fenty, but I have to say, right, Patrick Starr is literally giving my Fenty powder a run for her money. What? I feel like it just melted. Now this is first impression, but the first thing I noticed is how it actually just melted into my skin. Like, I didn't even have to apply. It's like, oh, I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this because it's I think it's a natural reaction for me to do this back and forth all the time, just to make sure all the powder is in. And I'm going to go, let me just make sure I have both of them on my fingers so I don't make any mistake like I did just a while ago, where I was using the one that had on the one side on the opposite side. One thing I will say, right, is that this actually does have a bit of a white cast. I say white cast, I don't necessarily mean on the white like an actual white cast. You see what I mean here? Now this Sweet Honey is specifically for medium to dark skin girls, right? But you see what I mean here? You can actually see that it's right there and it's blurred the area, whereas over here on the Fenty side, I feel like it just kind of just melts straight into the skin. This did it, but then you could actually see there's somewhat of a layer right there, if I'm explaining this properly. What I want to do is to actually finish the rest of my face, just leave the powders as they are and see what they look like after I've completed everything. So I'll be back shortly. I'm here applying my eyeliner, right? And I have to say, one of the things that I noticed is how this actually looks like it's just continuing to melt into my skin, and it's setting really, really good with my concealer and my foundation. Like, what? This is the Fenty side. This is the one size side. I can't believe what I'm seeing. It feels like magic is happening before my eyes. The way how this powder is just basically morphing into something different with my foundation and my concealer. Fenty baby. Fenty baby. Fenty. My baby. Hi there. How you doing? One size is over here. Fenty's over here. How y'all doing? Let me finish the rest of my face. Okay guys, so I have completed the rest of my makeup. So let me give my final thoughts on both of these setting powders. Now, one, are you Fenty Beauty people that come from here? I'm a Fenty Beauty fan as well. I'm not come from me. I have to say, right, in terms of comparison, I have to say one size actually beat Fenty in this first impressions video for me. It did. Now, this is not to say that the Fenty Beauty powder isn't any good. I have been using this since Rihanna launched this, and it has been doing wonders, especially for me who live down here in the tropics, in the Caribbean. We have hotter rest days. This actually has been working for me for like years. So this is the reason why I continued buying it, and why you guys always see me using it in my makeup videos, because it actually worked. But this is my first time using the Patrick Star one size blurring setting powder, and I have to say I am completely impressed. I love the fact that it blurred out my pores. I mean, the Fenty Beauty powder blurred out my pores, but this one did a better job in terms of the blurring. And I one of the things that I actually noticed is that while I was applying my makeup, I love the fact that the powder didn't just sit on top of my makeup. It actually started to kind of like blend in, where I can see that everything just ties in neatly and everything just looks perfect. And I actually haven't even applied any setting spray, because I want to see what the powders actually would look like in their natural form without any sort of additive or anything to them. So that's the reason why I didn't apply any setting powder, and I still won't. I want to complete the rest of this video and not do anything to the powders except just put them on over the concealer. So that's thought number one. Secondly, in terms of the packaging, I really appreciate the fact that one size has an extra layer of protection in terms of the powder, because we all know whenever you open your setting powders or your translucent powders and it's just there sitting at the top, depending on where you are, you just start seeing the powder flying all over the place. So I appreciate the fact that it has this bit of a sifter, like a secondary layer of protection that allows me to just lift it, shake it down, and I can determine how much powder I want. Whereas the Fenty powder does have that same type of sifter, but it doesn't have that extra layer of protection. So in most times, most of the powder will just be sitting right there on top, and you just have to be really, really careful when you're opening it. So that's pro number two. Because I am late in trying out this one size powder, I believe Patrick Star would have launched at least one or two other shades. I think Sweet Honey was the last shade in terms of black girls like me. This was the last shade, but I believe he launched either one or two other shades. Let me just check real quick. Sweet Honey was the last shade, but then he added another one. This one is called this color is called Dark Deep, and it's there for dark to very deep skin tone. And I believe along the line he launched that ultra pink that is supposed to be like a universal shade from fair to dark skin, and it's more like a brightening type of setting powder. So I can skip that. I don't need a brightening powder. I'm good with just the regular shades. I'm good with that. So yes, so that's another plus for the one size. Though I do believe that the one size, in terms of blurring and controlling my natural oils, that it actually won in this challenge right here. That does not mean that I'm not going to that does not mean I'm going to stop using the Fenty powder, because I do believe over time, and I know some persons can relate to this, sometimes when you're trying things for the first time, it works for the first time, and then over time your skin gets used to it, and then you start seeing maybe cracks and creases here and there. It's not doing the same sort of control in terms of your sweat and your natural oils. So I am going to try this a few other times to determine if it is actually better than the Fenty powder. Now I've seen other reviews where persons actually say that it is actually better, but my skin is different and I want to try it a few more times. But for now, right now in my first impressions video, definitely the One Size blurring setting powder is number one. And finally, I was searching for another setting powder that was just as good, if not better, than my Fenty powder, and I think I might have found that in the One Size here. So I do believe that these two are going to become staples in my makeup drawer. Now if there's another one out there, guys, please drop me a comment down in the comment section and let me know. I would want to try it. Listen, I don't mind having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different powders that all work, which is blur out my very large pores and just give me that smooth finish, that lasting finish, controls my natural oils. These are the type of powders that I look for, which is why, you know, I see a whole bunch of powders, a lot of people releasing setting powders, translucent powders. I don't necessarily jump at the chance of trying them out. That's just because I'm just like, listen, Fenty, but I saw some really great reviews on this one, so I had to try it. I definitely had to try it. And I have to say, Mr. Patrick Star with 2 R's, or is it 3? Is his name spelled with 2 R's or 3? I think it's 2. Might be 3. I'm not sure, but I have to say, Mr. Patrick Star, you did not disappoint. Listen, between you and Rihanna, I'm going to keep buying these 2 powders. All right, ladies and gents, that is it for this first impression / review of the One Size blurring setting powder versus my usual Fenty Pro Filter setting powder. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you happen to have enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up on your way out. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and click the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon on the next one. Bye bye.